They thought they'd broken her. 10 men, armed with arrogance and chains, circling her like wolves, who believed they finally had the lion cornered. Her wrists were locked behind her back. Her ankles were bound. Her face was bruised, blood dried against her cheek. But her eyes were calm, not beaten, not afraid, just waiting. And that terrified them more than any weapon they carried. Because deep down, every one of them knew the same truth. You don't restrain a Navy SEAL and walk away unscarred. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. They dragged her into an empty warehouse, concrete floors echoing their footsteps, metal doors slamming behind them like a prison seal. The leader, Cole Harker, a man with scars that weren't earned, only inflicted, paced in front of her with a smirk too wide to trust. So, this is what America sends into war? A woman with tied hands? He mocked, leaning in close. Let's see what you're really made of when you can't hide behind a rifle. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. In the silence, her heartbeat slowed, her breathing steadied. She wasn't planning escape just to survive. She was preparing to end this, permanently, even handcuffed, even outnumbered 10-1. She wasn't the one trapped. They were, but she wasn't always like this. Once she believed people could be changed. Once she thought mercy was strength. She learned the hardest way that some men don't respond to mercy. Only consequence. And tonight, consequence was coming. One of them stepped closer, tapping her forehead with the barrel of a shotgun like it was a joke. Nothing to say, soldier? She lifted her head, finally spoke, voice steady as steel sharpening. You made one mistake. Oh yeah? What's that? You forgot to chain my mind. For the first time, they hesitated. She shifted her weight, just slightly, enough to unbalance her captor. Enough to start the countdown, 5 seconds. 10 men, 1 handcuffed Navy SEAL. She kicked back, heel to kneecap, bone snapping, the first scream. She used the falling body to pivot, swinging her bound arms like a weapon, striking another in the throat. A knife dropped. She trapped it with her boot, flipped it up, caught it between her wrists, slicing the cuffs open in one practiced motion. In less than 7 seconds, she wasn't the prisoner anymore. She was the storm. The room erupted. Shouts, gun clicks, panic. But she moved like water, finding every crack, every weakness. She didn't kill all of them. Not yet. Some were left breathing, because justice sometimes demands witnesses. But Cole, the one who ordered her capture, the one who thought breaking her would prove power, he tried to run. She caught him before the warehouse door opened, slammed him into the wall, voice quiet enough to freeze him. You wanted to find out what a Navy SEAL can really do, she said. Now you know. When the police arrived, they found her sitting on a crate, wrists free, calm as the moon. 10 men lay broken around her, some unconscious, some begging for help, none capable of harm. The officer who approached her didn't speak right away. He just stared at the scene like he was afraid to breathe. She handed him the knife, handle first. They'll say I went too far, she murmured. But sometimes, too far is the only distance that saves someone else. And in that moment, you could see it. The moral weight, the cost behind the strength. Fighting wasn't the hard part. Living with the aftermath was still. She stood, because someone had to. Because justice isn't gentle, but it is necessary. And the quietest people in the room are often the ones who already did the hardest thing. If this story moved you, make sure to drop a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because stories like this aren't just entertainment. They're reminders of who we're capable of becoming, where strength meets purpose. That's where the real battles are won.